Hey, welcome to another edition of Faulkner Fixes All. Today we're going to have a little update on the work I did on the door, and then I will explain some of the components that need to be replaced for the window and door latch to work. Um, it was really bad. A lot of the pieces had been pieces welded on them, and vice grips used for handles for the window, and a very worn out window track. But we'll cover all that, and we'll cover those pieces. But for now, let's look at the bang up job we did. It still needs a few wet sandings with 1000 grit and maybe another coat or two. But you know what? It's really not that bad. Yeah, it's a little wavy from where I did that huge repair here and bent this down. I kind of trapped the metal in a position where I just had to use filler, and it's not perfect, but it's better than a giant hole. And the heat from me welding that round patch distorted a little bit. But this one, this edge turned out really good. I didn't have to use a lot of heat on that, a lot of welding. So let's get your earballs on this. You know, it's not bad. It's got some issues. There's a little divot I forgot to fill there. It's not bad on the curve. This turned out pretty well, actually. That's not bad. It's satin. It's satin black spray paint. You know, it's a work truck. I just scratched this with my knee putting it up here. So we'll do a couple more wet sandings and maybe a clear coat at the end. I'm not sure. But the wavy part, can't really pick it up with this black paint, which is good. It's satin. It's a little wavy here because there was damage here, and then when I welded that patch there, it just kind of locked in a wave. But I'm really not too bummed out about it, actually. God, the lighting's terrible in here. Here we go. That looks better. Yeah. You can see some of the wavy stuff. You know, a couple little divots I didn't fill here. It's not perfect. The top edge is better than the back edge, that's for sure. Looks pretty good. You know, I'd say we did a pretty good job. Like I say, a couple more wet sandings with 1000 grit and maybe a clear coat. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do the clear. I kind of like the satin finish. Like I say, it is a work truck. Okay, so here's what's going on. This is the door latch, and somebody welded this as a handle, and I had to zip disc it off to get it out of the inside of the door on the back side. Obviously, this is not the handle of choice, and when I zip disced it, I had to cut it with a zip disc, and I ruined that spindle, but it was already ruined. I mean, if somebody welded something on it. But there is a piece, a replacement piece. You can buy this little spindle, but you have to take these four crunched in welded factory tabs. You have to do something with that, probably grind them, get this apart, and put the new spindle in. And is it worth it? Yes, because then you can use the right handle. And then there's this worn out window track. And this window track, it fits inside the door on the other side. Here, let me see if I can put you up on the stand. Yeah, let's see here. Okay. This window track, the window slides up and down, and obviously it's had a rough life. I don't think I can reuse this. Anyway, it fits in here inside this groove, and you put it in from the bottom. And before you do that, you hook it on this piece, and it goes in there, and then this whole thing goes in the hole in the bottom of the door and situates in there. Now, this piece was fine. It didn't need any welding. And this track, I can't reuse it. It's smashed and it's worn out. You can see it's worn out in there. Not too bad up in there. In a pinch, I could probably reuse this, but I don't think I'm going to. Okay, so then there's the window handle itself. And somebody, let's see if you can see that. Yeah, you can. Somebody used vice grips on here for many years. And there should be little splines on here, and they're not there. Well, yeah, there's a lot of cobwebs, and it's pretty nasty. Anyway, it looks like you can drill these 4 spot rivets out, and this spindle is available too. This whole unit is available for $189. The spindle is about $16, so you can imagine what I'm going to be doing with that. It does come out. There's a little gear it turns on, you know. You get the idea. That spins around, and this piece here grabs on the window. Now this is missing a little plastic bearing piece also, which is about 10 bucks. So I'm going to reuse this. I'm going to clean it. The spring is still good. So that runs on the bottom of the window track and pushes the window up this track. And maybe I can show you where all this fits real quick. Let's see if I can. Yeah, I think I can kind of get you an idea. All of this goes in that little square hole in the bottom, and it all comes up once you get it in. And the track goes in here, and then there's a wing window in here, and I have to actually take that out of the other door. It's going to be a pain. I don't have any extra parts on those. Anyway, so that's the update, and as you can see, I think we did okay, you know, not bad for a work truck. I kind of wish I had filled that, and I kind of wish I had caught these too. It's done now, though. I'd have to dig all that paint out. Bondo is a decent product if you use it correctly on clean, non-rusted metal. It adheres to it. If you don't follow those rules, then the Bondo will fall off. And like I say, this needs a couple more wet sandings and another coat. And I just did that with my leg. Okay, so hey, signing off for now. Thanks for tuning in, and subscribe if you want to. All right, the only channel that matters.